Hello, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Dr. Musa. So happy to see you.
Likewise, and mic is in your hands. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. I am Neetu Choudhary. As Dr. Musa has already introduced, I am Neetu Choudhary. I'm C-suite advisor, keynote speaker. My passion is the neuroscience of leadership and neuroscience of business. And that's what we are going to discuss today. Science of female leadership. It's quite interesting, and I want this to be a little interactive. So I want to start with asking a question. Please write in comments. I don't know if there is a time lag between like you typing and me saying it, but I want to ask you still, whatever time you see this, please write in comments. Whose brain do you think is bigger, male brain or female brain? And let me take a pause and see if I'm able to see comments. I think there is some time delay in comments, but still I wait for a few more seconds. And write in comments, whose brain do you think is big, male brain or female brain? I know this is a very controversial question, but we need to start conversation with this one. And let me break it down for you. Ladies, you'll not be happy with this one because male brain is 9% bigger than female brain. And I think all male listeners will be super happy right now for this one. Let's break it down a little more. Male and female, we are 99% genetically same, very less difference is there. So 1% difference out of 30,000 genomes in human genes, it's like very minuscule, it's very less. But still that difference is significant enough for us because we see world differently. The way male sees a world and the female sees a world, it's entirely different. And that's the opportunity for businesses to use, because same situation but two different perspectives they can get from the same situation. Interestingly, male brain is 9% bigger than female brain. All male members, yes, clap, that's great. But here is the twist. Almost 15-20 years back, like before that, people used to think, hey, ladies have less brain and they don't, like, they are not intelligent enough. So everyone was happy. In last 15 to 20 years, a lot of research is done, and they found that two cases, actually two different studies are there. So I'll mention both of them because they both are equally valid. The number of neurons in female brain and the male brain are either same, or the female is having more neurons. So now all female listeners can clap for themselves because our brain is more organized and more compact. It's not everywhere all around the places. So that's the beauty of it. So don't worry if anybody says, yeah, male have bigger brain. Yes, you have bigger brain, but we have more neurons and we are more organized. Now, why it is important for us to know that in any way, neurologically, you are much smarter, you are much intelligent, you have everything what is required to have the leadership role. Now, I want you to go back a little bit in time, not 100, 200, 300 years, but 7 million years. I want you to go back and see how the evolution has shaped male brain and female brain. If we see male brain, it has evolved for hierarchy. Why? Because they are out in the field, they are hunting, lion is chasing them, so they have to protect themselves. So their brain is evolved for hierarchy. Am I head of the department or not? Am I head of the family or not? They always look for that. When I say they, their brain is looking for it. But when we talk about female brain evolution, since we are physically not that strong as compared to male, our survival strategy was to be together, to unite. And that's the reason female brain has evolved for relationship, community, being together, social, all these things. So no wonder why female are extremely good with emotional intelligence, resolving issues, conflict management, all these things female are naturally good. In fact, I want you to see this thing whenever you get time. If two people are fighting, and if a male is sitting and a female is sitting, male will simply sit and enjoy. But 99% time, female is the one who will go and who will interfere and try to resolve that conflict. The reason is that whenever she sees a conflict or fight or an argument, her dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin level drops to the level which is like life threatening for her, and cortisol level goes up, which is like stress hormone. So she just can't take that stress and she wants to resolve it as soon as possible. So don't like wonder if you have a big conflict in an organization or your office, bring a female manager and she'll be the fastest person to resolve that issue. Find a midway where everyone is happy. Nobody will feel like left out. So female are really good at this. And that's why I'm sharing this thing, because we all are different. And why do waste time in working on weaknesses? Rather use our strength and leverage on it and grow together. Now, the next thing which I want to discuss is lot of data is available. What I have taken is from the Harvard Business Review. I have taken the data. In general, managers use more positive word when they define and talk about a male colleague, and use more negative words when they talk about female colleagues. So you can see here, the blue one is the positive one and the orange one is the negative one. So for male, you can see they talk about analytical, competent, athletic, dependable, and very few negative words are there, arrogant and irresponsible. But the same manager, when they talk about female colleague, they talk about lot of negative words. And interestingly, I want you to pay attention over here. Interestingly, these negative words are subjective, not objective. So look at this table one more time and see for male, the words which are used, they are more objective and measurable and quantifiable. While for female, it's more subjective and depends on the mood of your manager. That's the story. That's the ground reality. And we are going to talk in next 10 minutes how we can change that. So first, let's understand how different we think, like how different a male and a female think about it. Male brain thinks about winning, whether it's an argument, it's a project, it's a deal, doing a market research, it could be anything. Male, or even if it's a game, for them, the first thing that comes is, I have to win. But in the same place, if the female is there most of the time, again, when I'm saying this thing, it's all based on research. Not necessarily it's 100% correct. You may be an exception, but in general, this is how the female brain thinks. So when female thinks, first thing, she will not think of winning. She will think of not losing. And the interesting part is that when you think of winning, you win. But when you think of not losing, you lose, because not losing is not winning. They are not the same thing. And let me do one experiment. Whenever you see this one, please just close your eyes for a moment and think about, if you're listening, if you're like driving or anything, don't close your eyes while driving. But yes, please, whenever you listen to this, just close your eyes for a moment and see. Think about anything, but not a pink elephant with a nice tutu. There are green trees around her and she's just splashing on water and playing. Now tell me, what did you think? Did you think about a crow or something, or did you think about exactly what I said? Most of you would have seen a pink elephant who's playing in water, who's like having the pink color tutu around her, like the ballet dress and all. Why? Because brain does not understand no. So when you think of not losing, actually you're telling your brain to lose, and your brain will find out every strategy so that you can lose. You have to shift your mind from not losing to winning a game if you want to stand out in this corporate game. The second thing which male thinks is about, they want to be better than others, which is very natural because they are out in the field and they have to hunt and they have to be the master of like hunting and all those things. Female, in place of that, they think about perfection, and that's the biggest problem with most of female. We write a book, we don't publish because we think that, yeah, it's not perfect. I will not do this podcast, so this video, yeah, mine is not good. Some other person thinks better than me. So we just lose 80% of our life trying to be perfect. And you get perfect by doing things, not just by sitting and thinking about it. The other things are focus on the end result. Now, if you're thinking about or aspiring to be at the leadership role, you have to think like male little bit here. Think of the end goal. Don't think of continuous improvement. Of course, it is good if you're in manufacturing, in quality control, in product design, that's very good. But if you're thinking about the leadership role, you have to have the end goal in your mind. That's the only way to thrive in that one. And the next one we'll talk about is, look at the area of agreement, bond in conversation. Yes, the male bond in a game and the female bonds in a conversation. So if you have a female colleague and you want to open up with, like her to open up with you and know what's happening, what are her challenges, invite her for a coffee meeting. She'll open up and share everything. If you have a male colleague, then you go for a game or a match or something and play with them. That's a place where they feel comfortable, they feel belonged, and they open up. And fixing the problem, and the other thing is like expressing and exploring. So these are the things which male and female brain think. Now I got the message that I have only 5 minutes left, I think. So the female face lots of imposter syndrome, like more than 70% female feel imposter syndrome because we think about perfection. And just go ahead, who cares? In few decades, you'll be gone, I'll be gone, and everyone who's listening this video will be gone, maximum 30, 40 years. So why do you worry? Just go ahead and do things. Because most of the time we are not able to do things because of the imposter syndrome, thinking that, I'm not good enough, maybe people are better than me. No. Ladies say, women say 10 times more sorry than male. And the research shows that female have the more intensity of feeling guilty for doing something and then they apologize as compared to male. They are okay to call their friend at night 3 o'clock and still they don't feel that, yes, I have to apologize for it. But a female has not opened the door or held the lift door for somebody, they feel bad about it. So we have to overcome that, because if you are thriving, like aspiring for leadership role, of course, you have to think of those things. The next is risk taking. Male and female think very differently when it comes to risk taking. Risk is made up of two things, likelihood and impact. So male brain thinks more about likelihood, and that's the reason for them expanding to a new market becomes much easier. Female brain thinks about more people, safety, and sustainability. Now, if that's your comfort zone, perfectly fine. Then look at the areas where you can use these things and grow. But if you want to, like, aspiring for a leadership role, then you have to change your mindset a little bit and think about likelihood and finance and physical growth, market expansion, all these things. Interestingly, during the crisis time, the risk-taking capacity of male increases, but at the same time, the risk-taking capacity of female decreases because she's worried about her people. So it's very natural. And if you want to do something else, of course, you have to change your mindset. Negotiation. Female are very good at negotiating for others, not for themselves. Male are very good at negotiating for themselves, not for others. So if you want to talk about your own salary negotiation, think of yourself as a third person and then talk about it. So you will do better. And confidence plus competency equals to result. If you are competent but not confident, you're not going to get the result which you deserve. So you have to work on confidence. That's the formula of success. Now, let me quickly tell you, because I have only 3 minutes remaining. During your menstruation cycle, the first half of that is the most important because your estrogen is high and progesterone is less. Estrogen is required for the prefrontal cortex to think better. So if you have anything important or crucial, it could be job interview, presentation, anything, try to keep it in the first cycle rather than the second half of it, because that's time when your brain is helping you a lot. And these are some of the words. I don't think I have enough time to go through all of them. Let me quickly go through this one. Don't use vague terms like I think, I feel. Nobody cares what you think and feel. Leadership needs a confident word. So I expect, I want, data shows, all these things. Let's do one thing. Take a screenshot of it, go in detail, and you can get in touch with me if you want to have more details. So avoid using all the vague terms like it's very good, it's very bad. Show the data, quantify it, be very specific what you're looking for. If you're striving for, if you're aspiring for the leadership role, don't have the vague commands. Can you please give it to me by tomorrow? No, you are a leader. You have to say, I need it by tomorrow. Do you need extra time? Let me know for that one. So be very specific. And I think, yeah, my time is up now. Thank you so much. Male and female brain, they are very different from each other, and each one has their own strength and capabilities. So just use your strength and leverage for it. Don't try to improve on your weaknesses. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your advices and your insight. I think the audience has got a lot of value, and I'm looking forward to see you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.